Now, the processes all got to do with training and development. So, your training is how you can develop skills, knowledge, and attitudes. Development is enhancing the skills, so taking where the employees are at and what you can do to grow them even more. Some of the strategies that you guys will look at in human resources is leadership style, job design, and recruitment. So, leadership style is the way that managers communicate with their employees to inspire and motivate them to work together to achieve an organizational goal. So, style, it can either be autocratic, so it's kind of more like one head person in charge. They're telling everybody else what to do. If you're a worker, you don't really get much of a say. You just listen to your boss and you do the job. But there's also the democratic approach, which is where there is still that boss, but there's a much stronger connection and kind of a bigger idea of teamwork and negotiation with the workers. And the workers actually get invited to meetings. The boss won't make big decisions without asking the workers what they think. And it's a lot more of like a participative kind of teamworky environment. There's job design, which is the number kind of variety of tasks that a worker is expected to carry out in the course of performing their jobs. So let's say you get a retail job. And you're working at like a clothes store. Part of your job design is obviously going to be like using the cash register, talking to customers, maybe cleaning the change room, hanging up clothes, maybe putting on the security tags. Those are different tasks that you've got to do. So job design is just designing like which tasks and the type of numbers that you have to do for them. And recruitment is the process of locating and attracting the right quality and quantity of staff to apply for employment vacancies or anticipated vacancies at the right cost. So for recruitment, think of like Indeed and Seek, or even when stores like on the outside of like the shop will be like, we're hiring. That's all recruitment because they're trying to recruit you. So HR, for me, I love marketing, but I also really like HR because a lot of it's very straightforward. It really helps you when you do apply for a job, whether you get one during school, whether you get one straight after, because it just kind of explains how they recruit you, how to like find the job, then what happens when you get trained and the different skills they want you to have, then also like how you stay in the job, how they use rewards and different kind of strategies to keep you there, and then what to do when you quit and your rights when you quit. So it's actually really, really helpful in terms of like learning stuff outside of school, and that can actually help you. HR is very, very helpful in that manner. There's also indicators of effectiveness. So if you want to know how effective the human resources is, and human resources, it's just got to do with like the relationships between the employer, so the boss, and the employees, which are the workers. You're going to look at absenteeism. So absenteeism is how often a worker's away. Just like with school, when you guys have high absences, showing that you don't really want to be there. So for workers, if they see workers have very high absenteeism, clearly there's something wrong with the boss or the environment, because why aren't they showing up to work? Like, why don't they want to be at work? Levels of disputation is just how many people are, how many conflicts there are. Are the workers always gossiping? Is there, a lot of fights? Do the workers fight with the boss? Like, if there's high levels of disputation, it's showing that the human resources in that relationship isn't very effective. Changes in staff turnover. So staff turnover is how many staff are leaving the company. So for example, a lot of people always look at, before sending their kids to school, okay, what's their staff turnover like? Because if you go to a school and you've seen like 40 teachers have left in the past 2 years, clearly the human resources and that actual base relationship, it's not showing that it's very strong. So changes in staff turnover, if it's very high staff turnover and a lot of staff are leaving a business, clearly it's like not somewhere that has like a very strong kind of base. Worker satisfaction is literally just what the title is, like how satisfied are the workers there? Are they happy working there? Accidents is the amount of like accidents and risks happening. So obviously if a workplace has a very high level of accidents for the employees and the workers, it's showing that their work health and safety laws aren't very strong and they're not being upkept a lot, which is not a good indicator of effectiveness at all. And corporate culture is just how together everyone is. Do they, go out for drinks after work? Do they have staff parties? Do they, buy cakes for each other's birthday? Like, what's the culture like? Does everyone get along well? Is everyone, is there much gossiping, or is everyone, helping each other? Is it competitive? Like, what's the culture like? All of these ideas show the effectiveness. So all of this, like I said before early in the lecture, everything in business studies is stuff like all of this makes complete sense whether you've had a job or not had a job, but maybe you haven't been using the words like staff turnover or like the corporate culture. But this is all like very common sense ideas. Now we're just getting proper definitions and proper, the actual wording to how to identify and connect it with. So some other key HR concepts, these are the ones I just defined, but I wanted you guys to have them on the slide just so you can add them to your notes. So I really hope that these help, because like I said, you can download these slides.